Uh, I accepted Christ when I was 12 and in the Baptist faith, and I had some mentors that stuck with me through the couple years. And as you get older, you kind of get out of the church thing, and when the family doesn't go, and I kind of went by the wayside. And then when we ended up married, and 2 years later, God blessed us with a son, and 4 years after that, He blessed us with another one. And you know, we joined a church that it was a mission church. It was a start. And, you know, the Lord spoke, and you thought you were doing the right thing, and you were getting everything you were supposed to get. And then when we built the church, I helped build the church. I helped paint it. And attending I hate to say it because I was a deacon at that church. It was a dead church. And through that, I was working, and for about 10 to 15 years, I would go to Louisville to the doctor to get shots in my knees just so I could walk. Well, then I had rotator cuff surgery. Then I had 3 heart attacks. And the second one, I had 40% of my heart working. And then I ended up with COPD. And then COVID come around, the dirty word. Our doctor pretty much told me if I got it, I was going to die. So for about 2.5 years, we stayed at home. And then Donna was telling me about this church that she heard on the radio, or met this pastor, and she wanted to go to that church. And I didn't want to go. And I heard she didn't push the issue or anything, but I could hear her. She was getting it over her phone, and I could hear it, and I said, no, that's not a church for me. And before long, we did go. I didn't want to go, but I went. It was at the tent revival. And the first night, I didn't want to go. The second night, my knees were hurting me so bad, I had to go to the car. And Brother Ronnie came out and prayed, and my knees started easing up. I said, well, that's because I was sitting here. You know, you make every excuse in the world except for the right one. And we went home. Then we went to church. I walked into the church with her. I didn't want to be there. It wasn't right for me. Well, the second time we went, I went down front and asked for healing of my knees. And my knees, the pain in them kind of eased up. And when I really knew that we'd prayed for my knees and my heart and stuff, was my neighbor cut some tree limbs down between me and him, and I could not walk from here to the back door without gasping for air. Well, I didn't realize it until after we were done. For 2.5 hours, I drug limbs from the yard out to the street. And me and my neighbor, we sat there and we drank a bottle of water. And when I left, I crossed and went down his driveway and crossed into my backyard. And as soon as my feet hit the concrete, it was like a light switch come on. I never got short of air. So God has blessed me, and we're still working on some more things, the healing part of it.
Come on, give God some praise. Thank you, brother. Ain't that encouraging that Jesus still heals? I don't know what you're battling today, or I mean, like I said, we first met him, he couldn't walk from the tent to the car, and he had a cane. And 2.5 hours of running brush, doing all, I believe God's healed his heart, his lungs, his knees, his vision's even gotten better. We're still believing, so we've took him through, he went through a one-on-one deliverance, got more healing in his body through that. So God's just good. I mean, here's one thing you got to understand. Jesus paid it all on the cross. He paid every bit of it. He wants you to be healed. He wants you to be delivered. It's his desire. The man with the withered hand said, Lord, if you can, if it's your will you heal my hand or whatever? And he said, it be my will. He said, if you will, he's always willing to heal and touch and bless. Are you willing to receive? Are you willing to get that block, that unbelief and that doubt out? Just like Brother Jimmy had. He had that, but you know what? He said, I'm going to come down, and if this is real, God's going to show me. And then